Hello, this is Elac, and we're gonna have a look at one of our more unique creatures of this unique island, Gorgo, the Gorgosaurus. This large theropod is the only one of his kind. We have not seen any other Gorgosauruses around this area, and in terms of Tyrannosaurs, most studies indicate that Gorgosaurs are similar to Albertosauruses in terms of their social behavior. But anyway, he is taking a nap. They are often known for sleeping long periods of the day, but he should wake up any second. Any second now. Jeez, he sleeps more than Calamar plays those stupid carnivore games. Oh, he's waking up. It seems like Gorgo has sniffed out some delicious prey. We will see soon enough, but I'll just say this. There are many mysteries in this Jurassic Nova of ours. This is one of those secrets. Last night, several of the Baraki and some new arrivals went out, got attacked by Dilophosaurus, and a stampede of Stegosaurus appeared. Whatever it was, killed one of the members and didn't finish eating it, which is a perfect opportunity for scavengers, like the fleet-footed ParaWorld, an early predator of the Triassic. Though, they're more like hyenas in this world. Now, we'll watch these small scavengers fight over this meal, and, well, we'll see soon enough. But interesting fact, the Herrerasaurus has some of the strongest jaws, not near Tyrannosaur level, but it's good enough for carcasses, and their stomach acid allows them to feed on rotten flesh. There'll be a few other scavengers coming, if not a large predator takes over this kill, which, well, we'll see right about now. Unlike Cyclops, Gorgo, being a much larger predator, can steal this kill with no assistance acquired. Now, let's watch him take this perfectly good Jurassic prey from these Triassic hunters. Gorgo has successfully won the carcass. Now he'll enjoy this good meal. Stegosaurs are rarely killed due to their armor, but they're very tasty. So this is an especially good meal for this large theropod. If he is not disturbed, he can eat this and eat most of this carcass. Luckily for those Herrerasaurus, if they are patient, they can gain this carcass back once he is done. However, something much more dangerous will steal it from him. These Metrocalcosaurus have been a real trouble, especially towards Krynak and Topknot, from what I've heard. Now, we'll see how Gorgo fares against these predators. Even with the viciousness of the Metrocarnosaurus, it cannot possibly hope to get rid of Gorgo by itself. However, the reports that Tokenomics and Triad gave of this individual, he said one thing: they traveled in groups, and they quickly overwhelmed the Gorgosaurus. But luckily, he escapes their attack, but he loses the carcass. They will practically devour every single piece of meat, only leaving a few pieces of bone and smaller pieces they cannot get on. The Parasaurus will return to feed on that, but no other scavengers will come to claim the carcass. So it's basically a loss for Gorgo. He does not have what he needs, unlike these bullies, if you will. However, Gorgo needs to get his other need, water. After all, while you can live long periods without having food, you won't live that long needing water, especially for a large predator like a Gorgosaurus. For now, we'll go to a special spot. However, it is home to some very deadly claws. We are now on the edge of the Spinosaurus swamp, and well, let's just say there's plenty of delicious fish that this pteranodon will take for its brood. But they are not the only pterosaur species in this environment. The Dimorphodons will come here to drink occasionally and feed on various swamp insects. After all, that's why pterosaurs got into the sky in the first place. But, well, the peace will be disturbed very soon. Gorgo's mere presence scares away all the other creatures, either running or flying. However, another creature has appeared to feed on the young of the true owners of this little pond. These creatures are Dimensionons, and just like their descendants, they love dinosaurs, however, for a different reason. And while these baby Bionics would be normally a good prey, this is really their unlucky day. And just like that, the STEM mammals retreat as void feasts. But she still has some problems, most notably a certain large Tyrannosaur, which will quickly realize why not many predators come at this Spinosaur nesting site. Now, her brother, Chaos, finally makes an appearance with Hades. They really do not like Gorgo. Normally, a single Baryonyx or two wouldn't be much of a problem. However, this large pack is a serious problem for Gorgo, so he must retreat. Now, let's introduce some of these new members of the pack, starting with some familiar faces. You remember Discord from her encounter with Cyclops earlier in the week. Though these are her offspring, it is unknown who the father is precisely. Anyway, after a long day of hunting, it is nice to have a check on your kids. Now, let's move on to a few newer members. Starting off with possibly the father of her offspring, that being Chaos, who was trying to have a nice moment with his sister, only for Limbo's brother Hades to interrupt. He is extremely greedy, though it's not going to help him in this situation. Though speaking of new faces, here we have Grim, who isn't really that grim. In fact, he's kind of clumsy. But anyway, he is somewhat interesting, however, unlike a certain red one, which we'll cover soon enough. You guys all know about Limbo, so there's not much other to say than the fact that he really enjoys the taste of aggressive fish. Now, on to a new member of the pack. This is Blackout, which has a very interesting reason for his name. However, we do not have the time to discuss his name in full, but I'll just say this. He has infiltrated our base during a blackout. Anyway, now let's move on to Pandemonium, which he's very quick to meet up with the others. Anyway, in total, this Baryonyx pack rules the swamp with ease. Not much really disturbs them, other than the occasional Dinosaurs. However, they do have one thing that Gorgo really wants. A family, or at least a pack, so he doesn't get his kills still, or being driven out of the swamp by Spinosaurs. Even though he has gotten somewhat of a drink, he's not going to go there anytime soon, and now he must look for a few more prey items, since the Stegosaurus didn't fill him up. He just needs to find... Well, that Ceratosaurus means one thing: new prey items. After walking a decent way across, Gorgo finally manages to find his Ceratosaurus, along with something a little more tasty. He managed to find a huge flock of Gallimimus with a few Iguanodon and a quite an interesting sauropod, the armored Alamosaurus, which we will talk about now. These medium-sized sauropods, while they're not as impressive as the intimidating Brachiosaurus, or as adapted to this environment as the Apatosaurus, they do share an interesting niche, and while they're not as big, they have plenty of armor, so their heads can do devastating damage. And they are often seen with various herbivores, mainly Gallimimus, Parasaurolophus, Almontosaurus, and Coryphosaurus. Though Gallimimus can feed on some of these plants with them, they have to be wary, since these giants can be very aggressive. Otherwise, they're quite pretty to look at, and there are even rumors that they have water powers. However, those are just rumors. Anyway, they can also feed on a variety of small vegetation, though I don't need to tell you that. Anyway, their armor allows them to protect themselves from Ceratosaurus, Allosaurus, and most medium carnivores, though Tyrannosaurs can still crunch through their armor. In fact, juvenile rexes are the most common predator of these sauropods. Now, let's move on to something that doesn't look as defensive, but it is much more aggressive. Iguanodon, or as you humans know as the second dinosaur ever to be discovered, is quite interesting from the other Hadrosaur or Iguanodon-based creatures here. Most notably is that they're much more aggressive. I've seen them crush the skulls of various raptor species throughout my time in this world, and they have even been seen killing creatures as large as Carnotaurus, which is an impressive feat. Though, while they do tolerate most of the small plant eaters, like the Gallimimus you see here and there, let's just say they don't tolerate them that much. Anyway, while they do live in massive herds, this small group is not as uncommon as you think. And in terms of dangerous herbivores, while they're not as bad as the ceratopsians, they're still quite dangerous, and you should keep wary of them, especially during the nesting season when they have their young. But anyway, they are definitely a unique creature to see in this world, though while they are aggressive, they still stay clear of giant sauropods, especially the Allosaurus's. Now let's move on to the final creature in this little herd, the Gallimimus. While they feed on small ferns, they can feed on much variety of plants, but now something more dangerous has appeared. The Ceratosaurus finally makes its appearance, and now the other herbivores realize what is going on. Normally, Gallimimus are an easy prey, but with both Ankylosaurus and Iguanodon, it is hardly any chance that the theropod will get any sort of meal. Now, let's see why you should never attack a herd with some armored sauropods. And whack! Now that the Ceratosaurus is being disturbed, it tries to fight, but that armor is a bit too much for its teeth, and it is punished for it. That Ceratosaurus has to be lucky, since these sauropods can do a lot more damage than that. Now, let's actually see how he is Ooh, that's got to hurt. I feel bad for that theropod. Anyway, now as he looks in on this that his prey has basically formed into, well, we will see right now, a defensive circle. While most herbivores will do this, the most devastating version of this is with ceratopsians, and now Gorgo will never get a chance on an easy prey because they are in this formation for quite a while, and he cannot take on the Ankylosaurus by himself. They are far too heavily armored, not to mention the sheer aggression of the Iguanodons, though he might still have some hope with some form of prey. After all, even though Ceratosaurus is a dangerous predator, it's also a good source of food. Now, as he goes into the bushes to avoid those herbivores, the Ceratosaurus has one last thing to say. Now he must follow the theropod for who knows how long, especially since he doesn't want to give up the element of surprise, and he'll soon come across a place you all should be familiar with, especially if you've seen Pridak's last report. We are near the portal, and not too far away from it, some of the first dinosaurs to appear on this planet make their entrance. These are Coelophysis, a small carnivore from the Triassic period, as it looks for insects, mammals, and small lizards. They often travel in small groups during this time of the year. However, during the true dry season, they can be very dangerous. But at the moment, they're more harmless. They're often compared to foxes. However, they'll soon discover there is something they should really keep note of: another small predator. This rather similar dinosaur is known as the Gorgosaurus, a small Jurassic species, which is somewhat commonly related to the T-Rex. One of these is powerful enough to take down 2 Coelophysis, or at least hold them. However, they are not getting those Triassic meals. the Ceratosaurus from earlier has returned to get a share of meat. Even now, Gorgo is following the delicious prey. And soon, you'll have that Ceratosaurus. Similar to what is happening to that Corellus any second. Oh? What the? That isn't... Huh? Okay, that's even stranger. Okay, and now we get some portal interference. Just my luck. We might have to cancel this episode a bit early. Something very strange is happening, and both Gorgo and the Ceratosaurus are heading to a raptor hunt, though it is something very different. But for now, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all in the future.
I'm from these things!